Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be another jam-packed daily cryptocurrency market update. As always, if you are new to this channel and finding yourself on my videos for the first time today, don't forget to check out that subscribe button because we drop an update just like this one around 1 p.m. UK time every single day to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening in the crypto space, but also the broader markets. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. What a glorious day for the cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin is fast approaching $60,000. It's not going to be long before we are at new all-time highs. We are going to see that this year. And actually, we do have a technical pattern that is giving us a target for Bitcoin of around about 150K, which aligns with our broader macro view of things. Now, one area that we're not quite on the ball is Bitcoin dominance. We are still expecting Bitcoin dominance to roll, others dominance to climb, and ETH BTC, that pair to really shine. So Ethereum to gain a lot of ground against Bitcoin. But the star of the show, undoubtedly, right now is Bitcoin. And as somebody like myself who's majority in altcoin, you know, it can be quite frustrating. However, what you've got to realize is Bitcoin going up is positive for the entire space. And we're very happy to see the price action that we are seeing. We're going to be revisiting that technical pattern. We bring up Amazon. We're also going to be looking at some older videos that we did where we were looking at the smaller head and shoulders. And we're going to be using that to show us where we're kind of at with this bigger head and shoulders that's forming. And we're going to be talking about altcoins. Hbar is on the move again. That's been a real favorite of ours. It's one of my larger positions, to be totally transparent. So maybe I have some sort of a bias towards it perhaps, but we do see a lot of technical merit in it and fundamental merit in it. We've been talking about a lot of deep in plays. There's so much opportunity in the crypto space right now, guys, and I want each and every one of you to profit off of it. There's an amazing opportunity. There's a fundamental transformational shift that blockchain has introduced to the world, Bitcoin, and we are evolving from that one use case to AI, decentralized physical infrastructure that the new internet is going to be built on, you know, identity, everything is going to be ran on a blockchain. And there's so much opportunity out there for you guys to grab hold of. And we are trying our best to get out a variety of content covering a variety of different projects. Let's start the video off, however, though, by taking a look at Bitcoin's price. So this is the plan that we set out for it. We did say it's very typical you get a retest here. You didn't even get close. And this is just really down to the bullish nature of Bitcoin right now. You know, you can see this was your pause before you then see continuation. And this price movement is largely on the back end of what's happening with the ETFs. And we've spoken to you guys previously about what an ETF did for gold. We can take a look at it in just a second, back in 2004, and what it did for the S&P in, I think, 1994 or 1993, one of the two. And we'll take a look at that because Bitcoin is now on a similar trajectory. Bitcoin has now been accepted as an asset class, as an asset, a viable asset for people to have in their portfolios, and thus unlocking trillions of dollars of liquidity that can pour into it. And Bitcoin, I think, is just over $1 trillion in market cap. The overall crypto market is now at $2 trillion. Remember, we were looking at the total market cap and saying now this is in stage 2, an uptrend, and expect continuation. Everything is going in that direction. The beautiful thing about altcoins is they are now entering their stage 2s on confirmed breakouts, and we're likely going to see a Bitcoin-esque roadmap for them, or we've used Injective as a roadmap. But you can see another intense volume day for the 9 Bitcoin spot ETFs with well over $2 billion traded. IBIT broke its personal record against, again, with $1.3 billion alone. For context, there are more than most large cap US stocks trade. So there's more volume in Bitcoin than most US stocks. Tell me that is not bullish. And you know the beautiful thing about all this is the masses still haven't woken up. Look at Google Trends. Nobody's interested in crypto right now. Your barber isn't talking to you about it. Your taxi driver isn't talking to you about it. That is still all to come, ladies and gentlemen. We are still, I believe, relatively early in this bull market. And we are well positioned for it. And we're going to be talking about that in just a second. So I don't know if this is a new norm or some kind of a short-term algo arbitrage related burst. And you can see HODL is also doing quite well. And if you look at the sort of flows that you saw here, also interesting, IBIT saw over 100,000 individual trades today. It was doing 30 to 60K the whole time up until Tuesday. It's like it's found a new gear over press day weekend, so President's Day weekend. I thought maybe it was just pent up volume. due to a long weekend, but it did even more today. So there goes that theory. And you can see, look at the sort of volume that you're seeing here, guys. It's absolutely spectacular. The interesting thing with what Bitcoin's doing right now, approaching the sort of 60K level, is it's doing that on the back end of an okay dollar. The dollar's quite strong here. You had a bit of a broadening structure here. It's resting after it met our target. Remember, the dollar is the kind of adversary of risk. And if we identify the kind of pattern that Bitcoin's in, we did use Amazon as a good schematic for Bitcoin, and it's playing out beautifully. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, guys, please do become one. Remember, we've got a 150K target. We did have targets for this, just to take you guys very quickly down memory lane. If I dive over to my Patreon, and we were putting a lot of this out publicly, you can see this is what we were looking at for Bitcoin, having sort of assessed that there was a fundamental change after the FTX spiller, crash, bust, that was signaled on a bullish divergence. The price action didn't match up with the momentum. And then we were looking at structure forming. We were using stage analysis. And you can see since then, we were giving all these sort of earlier targets. They've all been hit. And now Bitcoin is in a bigger head and shoulders that will play out in a similar fashion to the smaller one that we showed you, or what, Amazon is currently doing. Many people very bearish on Amazon, obviously due to Jeff Bezos selling stock. We have said that actually stick to the technicals and not the sort of fear mongering. There could be a million and one reasons why they're selling. One reason could be to buy Bitcoin, although that is not confirmed and have absolutely no evidence for that. But you can see textbook, break of a neckline, come back for a retest, and then you spring off it and you go higher. And this is the sort of trajectory that Bitcoin is now on. So everything is very, very positive. Remember, the overall cryptocurrency market has broken out. It's now $1.1 trillion. So we were using something called stage analysis here. We were identifying this as a base that you've essentially broken out of, and you're now looking for higher ground. Yesterday we looked at, and this is with real volume, yesterday we looked at a number of crypto stocks that we also have targets for. You can see actually how Coinbase is moving its way up to our target, having met our first one. Textbook break, retest. You've got things like Bitwise's top 10 crypto index fund. This has got a higher target. Crypto stocks look fantastic. Some of our smaller altcoins doing very, very well. Yeah, it's just a good time to be in crypto. Not only is Bitcoin gaining against the dollar, it's also gaining and broken out on momentum against the SPY. It's in a very similar pattern to what it is against the dollar. It's also done that against the NASDAQ and gold, which we were assessing an uptrend for down here. Be on the right side of the market. It's not the wrong side of one. Don't be a capo, because it's kind of embarrassing at this point. We've got coins like Hbar. Look at this. This was a confirmed break on volume. This was very textbook on the smaller time frames. You can see you broke, you come back, you find support, you set up a continuation structure, and now you're moving on to higher ground. We got targets of just under 30 cents for this, which is just under, it's about a 2.7x, and that is a short-term target. We've got altcoins like Link that have been doing spectacularly. Generally, all is good in the hood, guys. And actually, look at Link again. Textbook head and shoulders. Break, come back for a retest, and now you're off to high ground. Look at this. Look at where you bounce. Let's address the elephant in the room, somewhere that we're not quite accurate on right now, which is Bitcoin dominance. So we did expect this to be topping structure. And you are just basically now in a bit of a range. Just to draw some resemblance of a range very, very quickly. I still think this could top. And I actually think our signals for this, to get all these indicators off, are things like others dominance and ETH BTC, which is progressing. So I don't think now is necessarily the time to be on the BTC dominance trade, although it is still being exceptionally strong. Remember, this is our others dominance. We have a projected target of this that takes us to around about 20%. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. I do still expect this to act as support, although the star of the show really is Bitcoin. Remember, we have ETH BTC as well, which we are expecting a break of this pattern, and it's going to be a mega mover. And there's going to be a lot of fundamental news that accompanies this, like the potential for altcoin ETFs. So that's really all I've got for you guys. It was a bit of a technical one. Just stick to the plan. Understand the broader trend that you're on. Don't complicate things. Don't try and be too smart. And I don't just preach that advice, I practice it. We teach very simple analysis because it works, and there's no need to overcomplicate things. Trend following as an investor is probably the best method that you can apply, and understanding when trends are about to change, when a new one's about to take place, and being on the right side of it and positioned for it. That's what we try and do. You know, we've been very accurate on not just Bitcoin, the stock market, even gold. You know, we're still expecting upside for gold, which Bitcoin is in an uptrend against. It's interesting when you look at the past 2 years that we've had, or 3 or 4 years at this point that we've had, 4 years, 2024, you know, the whole March 2020 thing took place. It's been crazy. It's thrown people all over the place, but try and find some sort of an anchorage in that. And we do that via the charts, and we ignore the news, we ignore the headlines, we ignore the fear and loathing and all this sort of stuff. And we really just focus on what the charts are telling us, and be on the right side of that. And we want to preach that to you guys and get you on board what is a spectacular opportunity. Guys, that's really all I've got for you in this update. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, a massive thank you to each and every one of you supporting me out there. And on that note, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next.